Greetings to all of you. I am Divina Raghav, research scholar from IGNOU, New Delhi. I'm here to present my paper on the title Personality and Individual Differences, Big Five Insights to Workplace Stress and Coping During COVID-19. Basically, what is the background? The five-factor model is a settled worldwide view for the conceptualization of human personality, where the five proponents are neuroticism, extroversion, openness to experience, agreeableness, and conscientiousness. Personality operation predicts the recurrence of the presentation of different sorts of stressors as it influences the examination of occasions just as the impression of one's coping resources at time. The logical assessment of personality is driven by the objective of recognizing, anticipating pattern for the workplace expectations, practices that millennial employees experience and execute during and the beginning of COVID-19, to review a set of behavioral and cognitive strategies that help individuals construct their environment. Now, stress and coping is recognizable that stress exists when individuals stand up to circumstances that burden or surpass their capacity to oversee them, as quoted by Lazarus in 1999. At whatever point an individual cannot manage some snag or obstacle or approaching danger, the experience is upsetting. Engagement coping incorporates issue-centered coping and a few types of feeling-centered coping support seeking emotional regulation, acknowledgement, and intellectual rebuilding. Disengagement coping incorporates reaction, for example, avoidance, disavowal, unrealistic reason. Personality characteristics have demonstrated to be hearty predictors of behavioral problems. The study's assessment can help identify which personality traits are likely to influence employees' coping strategies, which could aid in stressful situations like the world economies are currently facing due to public health concern COVID-19. Therefore, we set out to evaluate the psychometric properties of the five-factor model utilizing NEO-FFI3 on millennial employees born between the year 1981 to 2000, aged 21 to 40 years, working in Indian organizational context. They were further linked to their demographics as sex, age, educational levels, adding insights into workplace expectations and practices. The Big Five model, otherwise called the five-factor model, is the best universally acknowledged personality concept and premises held by psychologists. As per the review of literature, openness is for an individual is the degree of intellectual curiosity. Employees with higher levels of openness are expected to perform better when they work in an environment where adaptation to change is needed, especially efficient adaptation involves developing different and possibly counterintuitive ways of doing things, as stated by Tet et al. In 1991. Judge et al. Also identified that openness was positively related to a manager's ability to cope with various organizational transitions because open-oriented individual preference for novel stimuli increased their ability to think flexibly. Conscientiousness, people with high conscientiousness are achievement-driven, hardworking and persistent, dependable and orderly, as stated by Costa McRae, 1992. Empirical research has shown positive relationships between the facets of conscientiousness and personal goal choice. Extroversion primarily related to job performance in occupations where a significant portion of the job requires interaction with others, Winchell et al. 1998. One prevalent explanation of such a relationship is that highly extroverted employees can initiate contact and get along with others. Agreeableness is highly agreeable individuals will in general be more cheerful and garrulous, amiable, pleasant, cooperative, and respectful. Accordingly, agreeable individuals are often strongly motivated to maintain interpersonal harmony and acceptance as well as minimize the harmful effects of interpersonal conflict. Jensen Campbell and Graziano 2000. Neuroticism alludes to the condition of being commonly apprehensive, touchy, and sensitive and nervous. Costa McRae and Dignan in 1990. People high in neuroticism are inclined to counter antagonistic affectivity, significant mental pain levels, and embrace contrary focal points to decipher their conditions. Hollenbeck et al. 2002. Now, coming to materials and methods, the data was obtained from 500 millennials comprising 230, that is 46% female employees, and 270, 54% male employees during the period of May to mid of July 2021. Further, the respondents comprised found from various education levels as higher secondary, graduates, postgraduates, PhD. Individuals are represented by various organizations with regional, cultural, and environmental differences. Our evaluators were working in 6 Indian-based companies, namely HDFC, Axis, ICICI, Infosys, TCS, and Adobe, comprising banking and information technology sectors. The sampling method selected is purpose of sampling with personnel based out of Pune, Bangalore, Delhi, NCR, Hyderabad, Chennai, embodying India's banking and IT hub understudied. In general, it was ensured that individual participation depends on availability, confidentiality, interest, and proper consent. All the participants were thoroughly informed about the purpose of the study and were enrolled utilizing self-deciding criteria. Questionnaires were administered using an online survey procedure. The measure used is the Neuroticism Extroversion 5-Factor Model Inventory, NEO-FFI3. Statistics to measure employee personality structure, descriptive analysis, and their internal consistency were assessed utilizing the Cronbach alpha, wherein it was realized that all reported values are greater than 0.7. Gender differences were reported utilizing this independent sample t-test, and relationship investigated established the 5-factor model structure, and age was analyzed using the Pearson correlation examination. Assessment of the psychosomatic exclusions of educational levels of personality outcome was evaluated using between group analysis of variance and results are as shown in the table. The first table shows the assessment of Big Five personality. Here, the 5 factors, that is openness, conscientiousness, extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. The highest reported factor is conscientiousness, followed by openness, followed by extroversion, agreeableness, and neuroticism. The Cronbach alpha for all is above 0.7. Now, the correlation between the Big Five with age, as we can see from the table, as age increases, conscientiousness and agreeableness tends to increase and neuroticism tends to decrease. Assessment of personality by gender, we can see from the table that only the difference is spotted in agreeableness and neuroticism. Females are higher on agreeableness and neuroticism as compared to male counterparts. Now, personality as a function of educational level shows that the differences are stated only in agreeableness, openness, and conscientiousness, whereas extroversion and neuroticism do not show any significant difference based on educational level. Now, the discussion of this will state that personality psychology tends to address perspective on human instinct and individual contrasts. Natural aim-based perspectives on human nature give a particular value premise to interpreting coping. Investigation portrays personality traits, conscientiousness and agreeableness to greater commitment and coping for grown-ups, and higher educates during the beginning stages of COVID-19. Contrary-wise, extroversion and openness to experience cope more with adapting engagement with new employees. Women millennials report higher neuroticism while in comparison to men, thus experiencing more disengagement coping when viewed in the organizational behavior and conduct. Thank you.